Full Throttle Television welcomes you to Richmond, Virginia, Richmond Raceway for round 5 of the Smokin Tires Sprint Car Cup Series season. My name is Brody Hanna. With me in the booth is, as always, our good friend Tony Solari. And we're looking forward to some racing action here from the action track, Richmond Raceway. Tony, I got to tell you, this is probably one of my favorite tracks, so I'm a little biased, but this is a great track to have any kind of racing on, much less these difficult, hard-to-handle cars ripping around this track.
Well, yeah, you can't. It's an unforgettable Richmond. It's short track, Virginia. This is a great track. I'm a big fan of it too. It's not a big fan of me, but it's a lot of fun. D shape, 3/4 mile. It's a great little track.
Well, some of these guys are getting their final warm-up laps underway here around the track, trying to find what the car will take, what the track will allow them to have, and actually we're in the qualifying now already, so we're going to see some time starting to pop up. But man, from what we saw last week, going into last week at Iowa Speedway, which is sort of like the big brother to this track, it seems like, we saw some great racing there as well. We saw a lot of green flag runs, a lot of great side-by-side racing, and in the end, Ty Bostic takes home his 3rd win of the season, and if we see anything like we saw last week, it sure is going to be a good night.
Oh, the top 5, they were all over each other throughout the whole 60 laps. And it was just moving and shaking, a bunch of changes for the lead. Yeah, it was a great race at Iowa. And I think we're probably going to get this again here.
Absolutely. Well, we're going to look at our race info for tonight's event. Again, Richmond Raceway being a D-shaped oval. And you got your default weather. Looks like we're going to be racing into the night somewhat. It might get a little dark here later towards the end of the races. And so the guys are going to be facing some challenging situations, some changing track conditions, all that good stuff. And at the same time, just a reminder for the format, if you're joining us for the first time, we're going to have 2 8-lap heats. And then we're going to invert the top 7 of each heat for the main. There are no fast repairs. There is. Am I missing anything, Tony? I mean, that's pretty much a 60-lap main event.
There's an invert for the heat laps. But yeah, that's about it. No fast repairs, no tires. Fuel may or may not come to a play here also.
That's right. And then we do have one green white checker if we need it as well. So it's going to be interesting for sure. Always is with these races. Again, a great show last week, and these guys have really gotten a handle on these hard to handle cars. And again, I say it every week, but how hard these cars are to control. These guys have just really stepped up and been able to take control of that as well.
Yeah, we had actually a really long green flag run last week at Iowa. And it seems like some guys are actually really starting to get a feel for these cars and finding their little nuances, but they are tough. They're almost easier to drive in the corners than they are the straightaways.
Let's see, we got qualifying wrapping up, I think, here. And once that finishes up, we'll be able to show you the start of grid of heat race number 1. So looking forward to that. But again, with this race being, this is the 5th race of the season. We've had a wide variety of different tracks and stuff. And we've seen one guy kind of stand out from the rest, is Ty Bostic. But Tony, do you think there's somebody out there? I mean, we've seen Brinkamp be fast in the 78. Huff Stutler, I'm still waiting for him to break out and get that win. But then we also, like Mark has a win. Is there anybody out there that kind of stands out?
Well, Greg Drelling was impressive. David Baldessar was pretty impressive. The series owner, Marshall Layton, he's showing a little bit of speed tonight too. They got a really good group of decent drivers out here. And, as we saw last week, the top 5, they were all over each other. It could have been anybody's game at that point. But, there's a lot of good guys in this league. And this is a very tough car to handle. So you got to give these guys even more credit for that.
Absolutely. Malcolm Murray looks like he's on the pole tonight as well. So looking really fast out there as well. Tire wear is going to be a play as well. Saving your tires, being around at the end of the 60-lap main event is going to be a big deal. But these heat races go by quick too. And something else that goes by quick, we got to get our sponsors in before we start our heats. Let's do that now. Racing action from the Smokin Tires Sprint Car Cup Series is brought to you by Team 126 Racing, your home for hard-nosed, short-track racing action from the UK. Like and follow them at facebook.com facebook.com/team126racing. By Butt Kicker. Feel what you've been missing and experience immersion on a whole new level. Visit thebuttkicker.com to see all of their amazing products today. By Track Racer. Experience refined gaming for yourself, including the new Alpine Racing TRX system. For more information, visit trackracer.com today. By Edwards Setup Shop, proud setup provider of the Smoking Tires Sprint Car Cup Series. Visit facebook.com/Edwards Setup Shop for more information. And by Epsilon Sprint Wraps, the place to get your sprint car and dirt racing paint schemes. Visit facebook.com/Epsilon Sprint Wraps today. All right, the guys have taken to the grid. We're going to show you the grid right quick. Here for heat race number 1, again, 8 laps on this little tricky short track, and it's going to go by quick here, Tawny. But we got Chris Standridge on the front row. He's got the pole with Dominic Moss starting second. You got David Baltasar starting third. Tom Land in the 91 starting fourth. Greg Drilling will roll off fifth in the number 35. Sixth place is going to be the number 10 of Ed Walk. Then you got Michael Murray, Kevin Dampier, Brian Newingham, and Wayne Bridges rounding out your 10-car field here for heat race number 1.
I noticed you mentioned too. We might be going into the night. I'm gonna kind of say this has got to be our first night encounter with these cars. So it'll be interesting to see how these guys are going to perform under the light.
It may be, and I know for sure it's going to be the first time we go into a transition. The track's going to change, so we'll see how the changes actually affect these cars, because it could get a little trickier, not only with the tire wear, but with the track changes.
Well, yeah, they're going to get a little bit of practice here in the daylight, and if it does go into the night during the final race, they're going to be racing on a completely different track.
You know, we were talking about the invert. I think the invert is for qualifying, because if you look, Michael Murray started, I think he ended up with the pole in qualifying. He's going to start 7th here in heat race number 1, so the invert may be for the heats. We'll have to wait and see
That
if
makes sense. Yeah.
see if that plays out for the mains here as well. So we're going to get one more lap under caution here. Little pace lap, get these guys, get their tires warmed up, get ready to go. Again, 8 laps, Tony. We've talked all season about how quick this goes by. I mean, these guys trying to make up time. It's going to be tough to do in 8 laps here.
This race is going to be about 3 minutes long. So yeah, it's they got to make some moves and they got to make them quick. When you're in the car, it feels like an eternity. But as we're watching, you're going to see guys make their moves in a total of 3 minutes.
Actually,
no cautions either.
I'm seeing on my screen 7 to go for some reason. So it may have gotten even shorter here. I don't know if that's a glitch in the system here, but may not count in your pace lap there.
Green flag.
Wait for the green though. Through 3 and 4. Green's out. We're underway here as Standridge takes the spot heading into 1.
Yeah, he got a great jump, and he is just sailing away right now. Everybody behind, they're still a little too wide. It looks like Dominic Moss kind of fell back. Where is he running now?
It's in 6th place right now. It looks like through 3 and 4, and actually you're gonna have Greg Drilling trying to take the lead and going in to do so. So Drilling to the front.
Oh yeah, that was a great pass by him too, and he was one of the guys we've been waiting to see some good things out of him. He's been showing his face up.
Baltasar is challenging for second. He's going to take that into 3 as well. One thing to mention too that we did not mention early on: there are no cautions in these heat races. So if something happens, we stay green.
And everybody's still out there. Everybody's looks like they're running really good, which is kind of surprising. Usually we do see a little bit of mayhem in these heat races, but everybody's good. Yeah, we see who's that dropped low? Kevin Dampier, maybe?
As 17 to Brian Newingham kind of got loose off turn 2, was able to hang on to it. But that's opened the door for Dampier to look into the inside for a position. That's for 6th place going into turn 1.
And I'm going back to the lead too. Looks like Greg Drelling's just checking out.
Yeah, Baltasar up high through 3 and 4. That opens the door for Michael Murray, who's already made up 4 positions, fighting for second now. And give him 5 positions. So he's in 2nd place, and he's going to set his sight on the leader of Drilling trying to make up that offset for qualifying.
And he looks like he's coming with a head of steam too. He was very fast in Q. Obviously, he did get the Q or the pole, but yeah, he is making some moves. Greg has got to be looking in his mirror right now.
So yeah,
Oh, he got a little loose though, so it's kind of slowed him up there.
our timing and scoring is not showing correctly, so I apologize for that. Looks like we have Wayne Bridges looks like had some issues back in the back. He's off track.
And that little slip up by Michael Murray, it hurt him. He had a great head of steam, but David Baldassar looks like he is closing in on him now. So second place is still up for grabs.
All right, we got the white flag. That's 1 lap to go. Sorry for the scoring, but 1 lap to go here. I don't think he's going to have time. It looks like it's going to be Greg trailing as long as he stays stable through 3 and 4. He's going to take heat race number 1 through 3 and 4 and set himself up good for the main event.
And Ed Walk made a last lap pass off of Christopher Sandrith, who had brought him into fourth place. I like that John Player special car.
Got to get that in there. Ed Walk finishes 4th. Standards drops to 5th, and so drops from 1st to 5th. The invert kind of worked there, but yeah, you did see our pulsator get back to 2nd place, so that's good. Now this heat here, again, has some heavy hitters in it.
Well, you got the Biesinger family for one. Then you got Brent Camp, who's already won a race or two. You have the league owner, Marshall Layton. But here, why don't I just give you the rundown? Ty Bostic is starting on your front row with Joshua Dubé second. Chad Biesinger and Brendan Biesinger, they're in the second row. And then you have Mark Brentkamp starting fifth. Marshall Layton starting sixth. Sean Huffstutler starting seventh. Billy O. Smith eighth. And John Bennett ninth.
Again, I apologize. We're trying to get the display to work correctly, and we're having issues with that. So
this one's going to be interesting for sure. I mean, Ty's already got 3 wins in the mains, and this is going to be a shorty little heat race. I don't think he's actually won a heat race yet, but he's in the front row to make that happen tonight.
and you've got Dubé, who's been fast, and you got row 2 is going to be the Biesinger brothers.
Well, if we remember too, a couple of weeks ago, Sean Huffstutler goes from 9th to win a heat race, so he's starting in the back. We might see that again.
He's definitely had short run speed for sure. I think he struggled a little bit on long run speed last week. We saw that in Iowa, but definitely is able to get through the pack quickly when he needs to. And so yeah, he'll be one to kind of keep your eye on. That lime green car there on your screen. That's the one you want to keep your eye on. See if he's able to make up that grid offset and is able to make it to the front here. Lime green and yellow. What a combination.
Yep, makes me want to have a Sprite or something. But yeah, these guys are all bunched up. They are ready to go, which is good to see. I like to see a nice tight field here, especially these restarts. You only get one opportunity to start these double files, especially in the main. Here they go.
Green flag.
2, 3, and 4 waiting for the green flag to come. There it is, and we're underway here for heat race number 2 from Richmond.
Yeah, Ty got a great jump off the start there. Ooh, we got who was that? One of the Biesinger got a little got on the apron. Looks like he slipped up a bit.
Yeah, you got Brinkcamp in the middle of that as well. Just looking at those guys, Brinkcamp, your winner from 2 weeks ago, trying to make his way to the front and almost 3 wide off turn 2 with Biesinger, Huffstutler, and I believe that's Marshall Layton. Still 3. Now they are 3 wide, and they sort that out. Some great racing here.
Yeah, I'm watching Josh Dubé right now, and he's just trying to make a move on Brent Camper, it looked like.
Well, here comes Brinkcamp for 2nd place on Biesinger, so give Brinkcamp P2. Looking to chase down your leader, Ty Bostic, in that 24. You got Dubé trying to hold off Huffstutler here. He comes to the inside in turn 3.
Yeah, that's who Josh was going after earlier, and yeah, they were mixing it up back there for 4th.
Now, those guys raced each other last week as well. We had a pretty good battle between those two.
Well, and I'm watching Sean now. He's clear of Joshua. Let's see if he can get something done here. He doesn't have much time to do it.
He done through 3 and 4. I think they're going to get to, what is it, 3 to go?
These go so fast. Yeah, it's 3 to go. And Sean Huffstetler does make that pass. He is on third. It looks like he is pulling away from third too and catching up to second.
Well, meanwhile, Brinkamp has been able to reel in Ty Bostic a little bit, but just little bit at a time. I don't know if he's going to have time to make a move. As I say that, it looks like he really dives into turn 1. Gets a great run off of turn 2. This could be his. Ooh, he gets a little loose there.
He was running the high line and in 1 and 2, and it really seemed like he got a decent runoff there.
Off turn
He's taking
4.
it low in 3 and 4. He's only got what, 1 lap to go? 2
No,
laps?
there's 2 laps to go. 2 laps to go here. Well, he's, again, a good runoff too, but just right on that edge of control. You can see the car kind of want to wiggle, but through 3 and 4, he's going to have 1 lap to do it as they see the white flag. 1 lap to go here in this heat race.
Well, Sean's just hoping maybe they do get side by side and he might be able to sneak a win here. They are 1, 2, 3, almost equal distance apart too.
Oh,
Oh,
no,
he
he
hits
hit
the
the
wall.
wall. I was going to say he was right down there on this. We see through 3 and 4. It looks like Chad Biesinger is going to challenge Huffstetler for second place. Huffstetler is going to hang on to it, but Ty Bostic is going to hang on and win heat race number 2 here at Richmond.
Well, that was a fun, great little race, and that's one of those things you could just see one little mistake, and you go from second to where did he ended up finishing?
Fifth place. And honestly, I saw Brinkamp. He kind of got close to that apron there, and was kind of worried me because I was wondering if he touches that apron, it's really going to upset the car. But unfortunately, he picked up a little push on exit, and I don't know if he touched the wall, but he was sure close.
Just touching the accelerator upsets these cars. And it's one of those things. He might have been just trying to give it a little bit more of a squeeze on that pedal, and it knocked that rear end into the wall, and that's where he got loose. He actually made a good recovery though. I've seen some real damage happen from a hit like that.
Let's see if we can get this working. It's the guys' grid, yeah, Tony. That was some great racing. Now these guys have to do it for 60 laps. Now you have to shift your mindset, because you just went through a sprint race and now you've got to save the tires, kind of plan out your moves and be around for the end of the race. With no fast repairs, these guys have to be sure of their moves. And if you make a mistake, it's night over.
Well, and that's the different thing we're going to see tonight, opposed to the other nights. Yeah, no fast repairs. So these guys, and it could be we saw really clean. Both heat races were very clean. Not a lot of wrecks. Nobody cracking in the wall. Nobody's flipping over at least. So these guys probably got it under control, and they know now no fast repairs. That's going to end it.
Yep. Gonna get serious now. Get down to business. Those guys were racing hard for the heats, and now you got to reset. So on the front row, you got Greg Drilling and Ty Bostic. Unfortunately, we don't have the grid up for you guys, but Greg Drilling, Ty Bostic is the front row. You got Michael Murray and Sean Huffstetler, row 2. Chad Biesinger and David Baltasar, row 3. Row 4 is going to be Marshall Layton and Ed Wack. Ninth place is Brinkamp. 10th is going to be Standridge, as they just changed that around there a little bit.
I can finish it. We got Kevin Dampier in 11th, Josh Dubé in 12th, Dominic Moss, he's starting 13th, Brendan Biesinger, the number 18, starting 14th, Tom Land, 91, starting 15th, John Bennett, the 20th, starting 16th, Bryant Newingham, starting 17th, Billy O'Smith, 18th, and Wayne Bridges will be last in 19th.
All right, as we're hoping that once we go green, it will solve our issues here. But Greg Drelling's going to lead them down through 3 and 4. The pace truck pulls off. We're waiting for the green flag, and we're green and underway here. Greg Drelling gets a great jump there.
Yeah, and I'm watching second, third, and fourth. They stayed together pretty nice on that restart. So nobody really got away from them, which is kind of a nice change to see. And even the back of the pack too. Everybody got a good restart there, so that was pretty good.
You got 19 cars out here on the track, so this is another thing these guys have to get used to. A little more traffic on the track, especially if you're starting towards the back with Brian Newenham, Wayne Bridges, Dominic Moss, all those guys back there having to fight through traffic.
Yeah, and it's we know tires play a big strategy. So some of the guys are going to either push early, take what they can get, and some guys might just be laying back a little bit, just keeping their thing clean and making a run towards the end. Because we know we're probably going to see at least one or two cautions, but I don't know, those heat races we could not see any too, which would be really impressive.
Yeah, we had a really great race last week. We only had, I think, 2 cautions or 3 cautions. 2 of them were really early, and so we had a really good long green flag run. And you could be seeing the start of this here as you see Sean Huffstetler moving into second place. Michael Murray following by Ty Bostic. Now, Ty, we've talked to him before about saving tires. I think he's in conservation mode at this point, just trying to hang on to those rears.
Well, with his 3 wins too, he's got he's got a little bit of a buffer zone, so he could play a little bit of strategy. Lay back a little bit. Let Greg get out there in front. Let him burn his tires off, and and he is making some good laps too. He is flying.
All right, as our SDK finally decides to cooperate after all that, and now we should be good. So lap 6 complete of lap 80, starting lap 7, and we're back on track here.
Well, I'm almost wondering if they're going to actually see some lap traffic in this. We've never had a really long green flag, to where this track being small enough, it looks like Greg Drelling is almost a half a lap on the last place car right now.
Yeah, you really could, being this track's as short and as fast as it is. Yeah, there's a big speed disparity. What is the word I'm looking for?
Disparaged? Yeah, I don't even know the word. I ain't gonna lie.
There's a big speed difference between the front and the back of the field, and so these guys are trying to fight through traffic back here in the back, and or either trying to save tires. And if you're not careful, the leader will come up and lap them. We saw that in the IndyCar race today at Iowa as well.
Yeah, and I'm watching second and third right now. They're just kind of doing their thing. Ty Bostic's just kind of hanging out in fourth. They're still running really good laps. I mean, Ty even just hanging out in fourth. He's running as quick as the leader is. So it's I know there's a little bit of draft with these cars too, but yeah, I don't know. It looks like we're catching up lap traffic already.
I think everybody here. Let's see. Ooh, yeah, we are. The leader.
That was Billy Mo Smith. They just passed.
Got Sean Hostetler fighting for the lead to the inside of Greg Drelling. Ooh,
yeah, when Greg was trying to get by Billy, he looked he may have screwed him up just a little bit and allowed Sean to kind of get up there. We got and that was
there will be a
Greg and Michael McMurray. It looked like they just got into each other.
Yeah, McMurray and Greg Drelling there make contact, and again with no fast repairs, you hope those guys are okay. Let's see where Michael Murray here.
Yeah, it'd be sad to see your pole sitter and your 3 race winner get taken out so early like this.
Yeah, you were talking about lap traffic, and you hit the nail on the head there, because when he caught Billy O. Smith, it was a little bit of an issue, and we had an issue with Billy O. Smith too. Let's go back and look at that. It says he crashed. Let's see what happened. He's right. Yeah, through turn 1 and just kind of turn 2 kind of gets away from him being halfway on the apron, and
the apron's not good in this car, the wall isn't good in this car, and the accelerator isn't good. The brake really isn't that great in this car either. It's it is a very, very difficult car to run. I mean, just a reminder for everybody out there listening, they are not putting their pedal full throttle anywhere on this racetrack, and if you do, you're going sideways and out of control, and it just takes a high level of just skill and pedal modulation just to keep these things even straight.
Well, it does, and we just saw that. We saw second, third place, right? Just trying to, to drive straight on. Well, not really straight on the straightaway, but I mean, on the straightaway, it's just these cars are so hard to handle that you can easily get yourself in trouble. And unfortunately, that's cost them a lot of track positioning early.
Well, true, and even just a little bit of a skid. I mean, and there goes your tires. You're not getting replacements. So even if your
That's
car is still good, you just slicked up your tires and made them hot and all that.
that's a very good point because both those guys just spun around and spun those tires up, and now they're hot. They're wore a little more than anybody else, and so yeah, that's going to be I think a bigger detriment. I don't think they got much damage. They kind of hit wheel to wheel there, so unless they bent some suspension bad, I don't think they've got many issues. As a matter of fact, I think Greg Drilling decided to stay out after that hit. You did
Yeah.
see, um,
And Michael McMurray came in, but yeah, they're on the track. The cars aren't smoking, so they probably didn't get too bad of damage.
yeah, Murray's back in again, um, so he must have gotten more damage. Or I mean, you could even see Greg Drilling maybe have more damage than he thinks he does. And when we go green, it could be an issue.
Well, sometimes as a driver too, you're like, do I want to go in and see how bad it is, or hey, it feels good out here just trolling around, on pace laps. So it's kind of one of those things, I guess he'll find out when the green flag drops if he's still got something or not.
Is it me or do I see guys more and more each week? We see more and more drivers running that apron.
Well, that means they're watching the interviews and they're listening to the broadcasts. So good for them.
You got
But yeah,
Brinkamp. You got Brinkamp down there. You got Drilling down there, and a few others. But at
we
least they're
told
not.
Mark. We
I was,
told Mark. We
yeah,
warned him.
yeah. But at least they're not riding in the grass. I don't think there's any. Well, I guess they could ride in the fresh stretch grass, but at least they're not riding in the grass, cooling their tires.
Yes, yeah. We won't get into that exploit, but yeah, nobody's arm is itchy either, so that's good.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, it's a
So,
Richmond, so
something you always got to say at
this
Richmond.
kind of things happen. Yeah. All right. Well, we're finishing up lap 16 here. We're more than a quarter of the distance, and laps quickly ticking by, a little bit quicker than Iowa. So these guys got to get with it.
Yeah, and they don't have double file restarts, so everything is now single file. It looks like the sun's setting too. I'm just waiting for these lights to turn on. I wonder if they're going to get this thing finished before the lights go on.
I don't know because it will go by pretty quickly. It'll be interesting to see, but again, with the track changes, the tires wearing out, the fuel burning off, these cars are going to go through a little bit of a change. So you see the guys up front now. You may see a different group of guys up here towards the end of the race.
Oh, for sure. And I got to hand it to them. They're looking really good and sporty out there
Green
as we
flag.
come to the green flag.
When the green's out, we're underway. Green just like that car leading. Sean Huffstutler taking the Quaker State car, the number 94, into turn one in the lead. The battles for third place. David Baltasar under heavy pressure from Chad Biesinger, Mark Brinkamp, and Joshua Dubé.
Yeah, I don't know if they weren't bunched up, but Sean went when the green flag went, and nobody was behind him, so he took off. But I'm looking at Ty. Ty is in second. He's moving along pretty nice.
He's just hanging out right there.
Like I say, he was running really quick laps, even behind the pack a little bit. With just, I know you got to save some of these tires too. And, it is Richmond is not fun for tires.
Dubé, ooh, that was close. Dubé and Biesinger side by side for sixth place. Looks like those guys got split by Greg Drilling. Look at Greg take off.
Yeah, we were worried about him and his damage. Apparently, his car is just fine.
Yeah, he's headed back towards the front. He's like, I was at the front. I'm going to take my position back. But again, he's got to worry about the tire wear.
Well, I'm sure what he's thinking right now is his car's fine, and he's making some headway. He's got open track in front of him right now, so he could try to catch up to that second pack, or that really the first pack. But Sean is just he's maintained his lead, and he's just out there just clicking off laps.
Looking back from Ty Bostic's on board, looking back to David Baltasar and Mark Brinkamp putting heavy pressure on Baltasar. Brinkamp looking inside. He's going to take that position off of turn 4, so move Brinkamp up to third place.
And I'm watching the John Player special. He just made a pass on Chad Biesinger. He has got both of the Biesinger family behind him, and he's making some moves now too. He's getting close to Marshall Layton for a pass, and he looks like he's running that higher line too, which is
Yeah,
working for him.
we haven't talked about Leighton much, but running in 7th place, having a good night, trying to hang on here and make up some positions. You know, it's he's actually one of the guys that kind of put on this league, kind of heads up this league, and does a great job trying to get people in here, and got a great group of people too. So I got to give him credit for that as well.
Yes, to fill a 19 car field on a Sunday night in these cars, hats off to him.
Absolutely.
And I'm looking at the number 14, Michael Murray, our pole sitter, and he is back there. He is right now in 11th place. It doesn't look like his car is too damaged, but he is just not on pace like he was earlier.
Yeah, it looks like he's got a little bit of a push going on or something. Like his alignment may be knocked out a little bit or something, because it does look like he's a little off the pace compared to what he was.
Yeah, and he's not really, well, on exit he's staying low, but he's doing a high entry line, so he might have some handling issues.
Back up front, you got Sean Huffstutler here. Still got about
got a little over almost 7/10 on Ty Bostic right now.
Ooh, 3rd place Mark Brinkamp, all out of shape out of turn 2 there. It's going to open the door for Greg Drilling to look on the inside. Greg back up to 4th place, maybe. And David Balthasar there just ready to pounce as well. So grab Drilling to 4th. You got Brinkamp back to 5th. And Balthasar, I'm sorry, Greg Drilling up to 3rd, sorry. Brinkamp 4th and Balthasar 5th. This is what you're looking at on your screen.
And they kind of single filed out now, but it's just one of those things. You can see some of these cars too. You see them get a good run off the straightaway, and then then it looks like they get a little sideways, and then it just brings them right back. Just because these cars, it's almost I don't know what you call it, but you think you're going to be able to squeeze off that throttle just to gain up a little bit on your opponent, and you just can't. You don't have enough bite, and the car gets loose.
It's like riding a bucking bull holding onto his tail.
There you go.
These cars are so difficult. I just love watching these guys kind of handle these cars, and that's what makes it fun. Everybody I've talked to that drives these cars enjoys these cars because they're hard to drive, and it kind of makes the best of every driver come out in these cars, because as you see, we ride along with Dubé there. He gets a little loose. Every lap, it's not just you run your paces. Every lap, every corner, every exit, and honestly every straightaway is usually the issue. You're hanging on. You're trying to control this car, and this car's wanting to go sideways. There's so much power under the hood, and the wheelbase being so short. It's fun to drive when you can do it right, but it can go south in a hurry.
Yep. Yeah, and I'm still watching Brent Camp, and he is struggling. He is loose. You can see when he's squeezing that throttle, because that thing is just wiggling, and he's keeping pace, but it's just every wiggle, Balthasar just gets a little bit closer. Yeah. It looks like he's getting ready to make a pass on him.
He is. We're riding along with Balthasar, looking at Brinkamp. He's trying to get in there and make that pass. Oh, Brinkamp cuts him off there. He's going to hold that position. Brinkamp. Balthasar backs out of it. You see Brinkamp, though, how these cars want to step out on exit. That's what I'm talking about. These cars are trying to kill you every lap, every corner.
Well, and then you try to make a pass, and then it's hard enough to run it in a lane by yourself. You got a guy on your inside or outside. We've even seen some of these guys 3 wide. It's a little nerve-wracking, and you're just like, somebody's going to have to lift and give, or this isn't going to work.
Could you imagine trying to go 3 wide here with these cars? I mean, you're better. You're doing a good job keeping the thing straight by yourself, much less having cars on either side of you.
Oh, for sure. And I try to get out here. I try to run a couple practice laps just to see what the track and the car feels like, and it is. My hat's off to them. I mean, these guys are running a lot quicker than I could ever get out of them, and just the fact that, here we are. We're over halfway now. 1 caution. That's impressive on a 19-car field.
Yeah, you got Brent. We're on board with Brinkcamp now. I figure give you guys a little bit of on board. Oh, Brinkcamp gets the apron there, gets all out of shape. That's going to open the door up for Baltasar. He's going to go by. Dubé looking on the inside as well.
Yeah, it looks like Dubé's got him clear. Yeah, Brenkamp, he's just we know how much he likes to save the tires and have that save the fuel, but he is just loose, as loose can be. He's struggling. He did get by Dubé though. They got a nice little fight going on for fifth position right now.
Again, 23 laps to go. Sean Huff are still leading. Tom Bostic hanging right with him. He may have made up a little bit of time, looks like. So he's inching
He
in on
halved
him.
his lead last time we talked about him. So yeah, he's about 3 to 4 tenths away from him now.
So there's first and second, third place, Greg Drilling all by himself on the track right now. Still green. Again, guys doing an awesome job. 21 laps to go here. David Baltasar and Brinkamp again going at it. Looks like Baltasar is going to take that or hold off Brinkamp for now.
Yeah, that is kind of your race, that 4, 5, and 6 position right now. The three of them have been dicing it up. Brent Camp is just looking for. He's just praying that his right foot is doing the right thing. You know.
You got Dubé watching all this back here from sixth place. Seventh place, Ed Walk just got passed actually, or in the process of being passed. It looks like by your pole sitter, Michael Murray, starting to make some noise now.
Yeah, apparently that spin and his car is looking pretty good because now he's starting to get up on Josh Dubé, or no, he's coming up on Josh Dubé now.
Yeah, Dubé just got loose there on the straightaway as well. Trying to get that power. Trying to get the power down on the straightaways. I'm telling you, these cars just they have a mind of their own sometimes. So he's right on the back bumper of Brinkamp.
Yeah, I'm just looking through the further on down the field, from 10th and back, and everybody's kind of spread out. Good couple car lengths between everybody. They're just out there clicking off their laps, and nothing really to talk about. And I'm looking at Tom Land, Dominic Moss, John Bennett, Christopher Standridge, Kevin Dampier, Wayne Bridges. All of those guys are just kind of doing their thing.
Up front is still Sean Huffstadler, and he's kind of grown his lead a little bit. But look in front of these guys. You talked about it, Tony. Live traffic's going to be a factor here.
Yeah, well, especially now. I think this is probably one of the longest green flags we've seen here.
Oh,
Got anything to say about your car?
And that's Brinkamp.
And as I was just talking about a long green flag, yep, here comes a caution.
Your winner from, what was it, 2 weeks ago?
Dover?
Yeah, Brinkamp, I think, won at Dover. So he's got a win under his belt, but having some handling issues here tonight.
Well, I was watching him. He was, been wiggling, been keeping up his position really well, and fighting for positions. Fortunately, he just burned up his tires. Nobody got into him. He just made a nice 360, and
he did. Look at that. Nice little 360 off for him. Keeps going, which is, that's good. It's good that he didn't hit anything, but unfortunately, those tires are going to get even worse now.
Yeah, but by the time this caution gets done, he's going to have a little over 10 laps to get it done. So the tires might not be too bad. But you see him; he went right back down to the apron, trying to save up some fuel. Or actually, it looks like he's going in for the pits now. He might be topping off.
Yeah, well, at
we
this
know
point,
we know how he likes that full tank.
Yeah, because he's lost all of his track position at this point, so might as well go in there and fill up the tank. At least have that weight on the rear tires. I mean, he's going to be at a disadvantage because his rear tires are going to be kind of burn up a little bit, but still he'll have that extra weight in the rear that should help him kind of plant those rear tires.
Yeah, I'm kind of excited about this restart now. Let's see if Ty and Sean are they going to get the jump that they got before, and see what they can do with this.
You got Greg Drilling who dropped back and then came back forward, so it looks like he's kind of figured out something here as far as he saved his tires, and now he's starting to march back towards the field too. So I think Greg's going to have something to say here too. Baltasar, he's up there every week, so he's strong. Michael Murray back up to fifth. With that spin, he actually is back up into fifth place. So that 14 car is back up to within striking distance, I think.
Well, that just shows you how strong he was for getting the pole. And yeah, he's making his way. We did get Bryant Newingham was able to get his lucky dog lap back, so he is also on the lead lap. We actually have 17 cars on the lead lap. Uh, Billy O'Smith, Billy O'Smith, and Brendan Biesinger both looks like they retired for the evening, so they'll be scored in 18th and 19th.
That's unfortunate for the 18 of Brandon Biesinger because he was really quick in practice. He was quick at qualifying. I looked for something good for him tonight because I think he was one of the fastest guys in pre-race practice, if not the fastest. I think he was top of the board. And so I was looking for big things for him tonight, but unfortunately, it's just not going to be the case.
Yeah, I want to go back to see what happened to him because I don't think he got in a wreck or anything. I'm just curious to know. I know he was having what did his dad say? He was having computer issues last week. I wonder maybe if he's having some similar issues this week. Well, that's something that we got to tell the audience too. Our computers are basically our cars, our internet connection. You know, if we have a mechanical failure, that's pretty much where not to say we can't have mechanical failures in the game. They do kind of arise every now and again, but our main mechanical failure is our computers and our equipment that we use. So if you have issues, that can end your night.
Yeah, for sure, and that's that kind of takes the place of the mechanical failures on an actual race car. Same thing. I mean, if your equipment fails, your equipment fails. Doesn't matter if it's a hard drive or if it's a faulty spring or shock. It's the same result.
One bad potentiometer, USB cable gets knocked out by the cat. Anything,
Well, we've
just
seen VR headsets go black. I mean, there's a myriad of things
yes.
that can happen, or even your power going out. So
Power going off, internet connection gets lost. Yeah, it's a finicky beast.
it is. All right. Well, the pace truck lights are off. We're gonna have 11 laps, no, 10 laps to settle this. A 10-lap
Green
shootout
flag.
through 3 and 4, and again, Huffstutler gets a great jump.
Yeah, it almost looked like he was watching a different flag than the rest of the group. But you got to do what you got to do. Get out there when that flag goes green. I don't necessarily blame
Caution.
Sean as we got another yellow already.
How about water, pressure,
We
temperature
do.
right
Let's
there?
see. Brian Newingham, who just got his lap back, involved. Looks like Wayne Bridges was involved as well. Let's go back and look at it and see what we can find.
Yep.
It was Wayne Bridges. Let's go back and look at that. Going into on the restart through turn 1, looks like something happens to Wayne. Let's see what happens. Oh, they end up 3 wide in front of him. He drives to the outside. Oh, he just gets loose and head first into the wall and collects Bryant Newingham.
Yeah, that was unfortunate. Yeah, he did. He just got a little bit loose. Maybe he got spooked when the spotter said 3 wide. And yeah, hits the wall, spins down. Unfortunately, Bryant couldn't go anywhere.
Go on board here. It's loose. Bam. What are you talking about?
That's the thing with these cars. They do not like direction changes with the short wheelbase either, and it's even hard. Bryant Newingham really probably had nowhere to go. He'd probably be better off just holding that wheel straight, which is what you got to do while you're trying to race anyway. But try to do an accident avoidance in these cars is not not easy.
Well, let's go back because I don't think Bryant. I mean, what are you gonna do, turn right? That's gonna end terrible too. Here we're gonna go on with Bryant Newingham, see what he sees. Going into turn 1, you see the car there. You think he's gonna? I mean, you're talking about split second. He couldn't do anything. It just happened right there in front of him.
Yeah, and you're kind of damned if you do, damned if you don't in this kind of car, just because your avoidance could cost you more than just getting in the wreck.
Well, we're going to reset it for you because we're going to have about 6 laps or 5 laps to go when we get green here. Huffstutler first. You got Ty Bostic in second. Greg Drelling third. Michael Murray back up to fourth now, who continues to march back towards the front. And he's been quick too. And then David Baltasar currently running in 5th. You got Ed Walk 6th, Marshall Layton in 7th. You got Chad Biesinger in 8th in the 23. 9th is going to be Tom Land in the 91. And 10th place is going to be the 19 of Dominic Moss. And Dominic's not one we've mentioned much, but he's having a good, consistent night tonight as well.
Yeah, he's been he was in the upper top 10 or the lower top 10, I should say, for most of the race, but he's holding a solid 10th right now. I'm just looking for these guys on the restart. You know, we're gonna have about 4 or 5 laps to go when this thing goes green, and I'm just watching second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. These guys got to get a restart if they want a piece of Sean, because
Absolutely.
we do know. I mean, again, you can't floor these cars, so restarts are
Green
kind of
flag.
a premium.
Race car's off. Here we go. Green flag's out. Hustler, another great restart.
He's got that thing figured out, and I don't know what he's doing. I don't know if he's holding a handbrake or who knows.
Michael Murray just got the jump on Greg Drelling for 3rd place. Moved Murray up to 3rd.
Yeah, that was pretty impressive, especially too. He was in the pits. We thought he was a little damaged in that early first caution.
Look at this. So what happened to Huffstutler? He's backed up to these guys. He had a great jump, but Bostic's closed right in on him. Oh, here we
And
go.
Murray. Oh yeah, look at Murray. He was getting. They might split him 3 wide here.
3 wide battle for the lead. Yeah, that would be crazy. Murray looking to the outside. You see Bostic get a little loose there.
Greg Drelling's hanging with him, but at this point he's probably just licking his chops, maybe waiting for some mayhem to happen and he could capitalize on. But no, he's sticking his nose in there now too.
Well, Murray settles back into 3rd. I say that. Here he's back on the inside of Bostic.
Oh, we got Drelling. Looks like he's going for 3rd now.
Oh, here we go into turn 1. We got 2 laps to go, and everybody's there under a blanket.
This is either going to be one of the greatest finishes or it's going to be a terrible mayhem. But yeah, these guys are moving. 1 to go.
Murray looking on the inside. Nothing there. Going to be on the white flag. 1 lap to go. Here he is. He's on the inside.
He dove it in there and it stuck. Oh, look at that.
Murray
Pass
back
for the lead.
Oh, and you see Huffstutler get loose. Drelling looking to the inside. Nothing there. Murray through 3 and 4. Michael Murray is going to hold on to win this race.
Wow, that was a hell of a drive by Michael Murray.
That was crazy. That was entertaining. Good job by all these guys.
Very
to keep
good.
It clean there.
Especially too, he was getting a little bumped and beat on the back. He was a little loose himself. Made a great pass that just stuck when he needed it to stick. And wow, even that great restart Sean Huffstutler got could not do it. And although he did finish 3rd out of it, Greg Drelling gets a 2nd place finish. That's good to see. Finally, his name showing up.
Let's go back and look at this pass. Down the straightaway, white flag, 1 lap to go. You see Murray just looks on the inside. Huffstutler left the door open there, and he gets a good run down the straightaway. You see Huffstutler get loose there. Boy, and I tell you what, Murray just closed the door on Drelling there going into 3. Let's look at this again from the gearbox. Riding on board with Murray here. Through 1 and 2, he looks to the inside of Huffstutler. Gets that done. Huffstutler gets loose on the outside. Here comes Drelling. Actually, Murray gets loose as well. He comes right across in front of Drelling and able to hold off Drelling, Huffstutler, and Bostic, and Ed Wack. That's your top 5.
That was an impressive drive. That's got to be one of the best pass for the lead I've seen in this series so far.
Let's look at the results here. You got You got Michael Murray taking home the win tonight. Great race for him. Awesome. Entertaining too. We'll talk about that in a minute. You got Greg Drelling finishing in 2nd, Huffstutler 3rd, Ty Bostic 4th, Ed Wack finishing in 5th place. 6th place is the 91 of Tom Land. 7th place is going to be Chad Biesinger in the 23. 8th is Dominic Moss. John Bennett 9th. Dampier finishes in 10th. Chris Standridge finishes 11th. David Baltasar, not sure what happened to him, but he fell back to 12th place. Brinkamp 13th. Marshall Layton 14th. There must have been something happened there as well.
Somebody I did see flipping as they were coming to 1 to go.
You got Dubé in 15th. You got Bryant Newingham, Wayne Bridges, Brendan Basinger, and Billy O. Smith rounding out your 19 car field. And we will go back and look at that because I think we have that. Let's see what happened to Baltasar here. Turn 3, looks like he gets together with car, but that wasn't the wreck. Oh, they get together on the straightaway. That was him and Marshall Layton. Him and Marshall Layton tangled together. Let's look at that again.
Yeah, that was with 1 to go right when the green flag dropped. Or wait to go 1 to go right at the start finish.
See, Baltasar gets loose off the corner, comes down, Marshall Layton right there, and they just kind of hooked together, and both those guys fell back towards the end. That's unfortunate, but it's hard racing towards the end, man.
Well, yeah, with 1 to go, and you know you're gonna try and push it too, and yeah, unfortunate, but yeah, great race though.
All right, well, we're gonna go thank our sponsors again one more time. Then we'll get to talk to some of these guys and see what they thought about this amazing racing action out here tonight. Racing action from the Smoking Tires Sprint Car Cup Series is brought to you by Team 126 Racing, your home for hard-nosed short-track racing action from the UK. Like and follow them at facebook.com/Team126Racing. By Butt Kicker, feel what you've been missing and experience immersion on a whole new level. Visit thebuttkicker.com to see all of their amazing products today. By Track Racer, experience refined gaming for yourself, including the new Alpine Racing TRX system. For more information, visit trackracer.com today. By Edwards Setup Shop, proud setup provider of the Smoking Tires Sprint Car Cup Series. Visit facebook.com/Edwards Setup Shop for more information. And by Epsilon Sprint Wraps, the place to get your sprint car and dirt racing paint schemes. Visit facebook.com/Epsilon Sprint Wraps today. All right, we're back here at Richmond Raceway, and looking for our interviews, and looks like we are going to be able to catch up with a second place finisher, Greg Drilling. Let's get him in here. Greg, you got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Greg, I'm speechless. That was some awesome racing. Those last 2 or 3 laps, you guys put on a hell of a show out there.
I was just hoping we're going to give each other enough room to be able to finish. But yeah, I mean, the dice in there, that was probably the most fun I've had iRacing in a couple of months. Just that dicing, going back and forth and, finding an inch and, making a hole out of it.
That was some great. I just that we were kind of speechless doing the broadcast too. It probably isn't the greatest, but man, that was exciting for sure. And we saw Michael Murray come up through the field. We saw Huffstetler getting loose. I mean, you guys were laying it all out on the line, and it was just fun to watch. Tell me a little bit about how those cars drove towards the end, and how much of a change was it from the beginning of the race?
Early in the race, when the cars are full of fuel, 5 or 6 laps till you get some heated tires, they feel really, really good. That last third of the race, it felt like a pedal fest, and whoever's going to be able to put the power down to the ground better than anybody else was going to be able to win that. And I was telling some of the guys I'm in team speak with, kind of what it's going to be. Just be very careful, and it's just pedal it out, and that's just what I did.
Yeah, it looked like a dirt race out there for sure. Tony, you got any comments after what we just saw?
Well, you and the race winner were in the first caution, and we saw him go down for pits to maybe get some repairs done. We were thinking the tires was going to be an issue for both of you, and apparently not. So yeah, just curious to know what your thoughts were on that.
I want to apologize to Michael on this. I apologize in the game chat. I didn't mean to. I got really loose, and he was just right there. I bounced off the wall a little bit, kind of put me in a bad spot with that lap car. And then, Mike and Sean caught me, and I was just trying to get as much ground back as I could and ended up spinning. But I felt the car was pretty good after that. It was still pointed straight. The wheel wasn't turned at all. So I was like, I'm just going to give it a shot and see what happens. And, it kind of paid off in the end.
Well,
Yeah, for sure. And it's good to see your name up here. We know you're a pretty strong driver, and you haven't been getting the finishes you probably been wanting. So yeah, it's good to see you up here in second.
it looked like a
Yeah,
lot
it's
of
good.
fun too. So it did look like you guys were having a lot of fun, which is cool. And man, again with the four of you guys going at it, almost three wide at times, and just amazing that you guys can do that in a car like this. I talk all the time about how hard these cars are to drive, and like you were talking, just trying to find out how much power you could put down, where you could put it down, and then trying to do that with cars around you just is amazing.
I like to compare it to being on a very, very slick dirt track. I am a dirt racer, and that's what I did for a lot of years until I'm retired now. But I like to compare it to being on a very, very slick dirt track. You got to give a little bit of room, and and just try to get that power down any way you can. You just got to pedal it out. But it was a fun night. It's good to be back here talking to you guys. Ran into a lot of bad luck, this whole season so far. But hopefully I'll be talking to you guys more.
Absolutely, we'll look for it for sure. From what we saw tonight, we'll give you the mic though. We'll give you one more chance. So, you got any sponsors or anybody watching the race you'd like to throw a shout out to?
I'd like to thank my brother Tom for the awesome paint scheme on my sprint car. Uh, my company, Four Seasons Heating, helped me out quite a bit on this iRacing stuff. My buddies Mark and Dom, their team speak, making me laugh right now. But Marshall for putting this league on, all the guys race, so it's been fun.
All right. Well, Greg, again, great second place finish tonight. We'll look forward to seeing you next week.
All right, thank you guys, appreciate it.
There's your second place finisher, Greg Drilling. And speaking of next week, let's go and look at the schedule. Next week we'll be heading to Lucas Oil Raceway, another one of those great short tracks. And I've actually watched some sprint car races there before on TV, not in not in person, but it's a great track for these cars, and I'm sure it's going to put on a great show.
It's the rest of the schedule is all short tracks, and yeah, short tracks are fun. These guys put on a great show tonight, and I can only imagine what Lucas Oil. So it's a lot smaller than Richmond even, but yeah, it's going to be a great little race.
Well, Tony, what do you think? I mean, again, at times I was speechless because the end of this race, it was just it was exciting, it was interesting, it was awesome.
Well, last week we saw 5 guys battling for the lead, and we were loving every minute of it. This night we saw 4 guys battling for the lead, and in closer combat, in closer quarters than last week, and just amazing the amount of skill that these guys had to do what they did. It's kind of sad we didn't get a chance to talk to our winner, Michael McMurray, but or Mick Murray, not Mick Murray, but yeah, it was just awesome race with these guys. Hats off to everybody out there.
Absolutely, and there was some great racing, like you said. Unfortunately, we couldn't catch up with our winner or our third place finisher tonight, but I'm sure they had a lot to say, and maybe show off next week. We had a new winner tonight. Michael Murray takes home the win. Again, Huff Stutler looking to break out, but unable to finish it off again. Tony, he's again leading late in these races and unable to get that victory. But another good points night for him as well, though.
Yeah, for sure, and that's he's knocking down some solid points nights. He's been knocking on that door of a victory. I believe he led the most laps of everybody tonight too. So he'll get that victory lane one of these nights.
Absolutely. Well, I think that's going to about do it for us here from Richmond Raceway in Richmond, Virginia. Another exciting race, round 5 complete. Your winner tonight, number 14, Michael Murray. So for Tony Solari, I'm Brody Hanna for Full Throttle Television. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next week, same time, 9 o'clock on Sundays here on Full Throttle Television.